So I'm an idiot and I got a virus on my computer a little while ago. But in any case, I was going through and clearing out my computer because I have a ton of stuff on there. And I have all this footage from like these motorcycle trips that Ian and I went to that I never did a vlog for. And then also my Nashville trip that I went to with Caitlin in, God, when was this? This was in November, at the end of November, beginning of December. I went to Nashville with Kaylin, her boyfriend, who's like a music producer, her dad, Caitlin's boyfriend's best friend, Andrew. So we all went together, we rented a house, an Airbnb, and we stayed there, and it was a lot of fun. And I have all this footage on my computer that I realized I just didn't make a video for. And then I also went to Portland too with Ian. So I just figured I'd walk you guys through it real quick. So I spent a week in Nashville with Caitlin. So Caitlin, if you don't know, she has a YouTube channel as well, which I'll link down below, but she moved to California about almost 2 years ago, and that's when I met her. She moved to California, or Los Angeles, because she wanted to pursue her music career. When she was over here, she was working on writing and stuff like that, and you know, I never really heard her sing or perform or anything like that, so I just kind of like, in the back of my head, I was just like, okay, well maybe it's just, you know, something that she wants to pursue, but not really, it's not like 100% type of thing. Anyway, so she was working for a little bit, she met this guy, Devin, and he works in, he's like a music technician, or like he travels with bands and he does producing music and stuff like that. That last sentence didn't make sense at all, did it? I just totally woke up from a nap. Anyway, you guys kind of get the idea. So he works with music, or musicians, and he tours a lot, he travels with a lot of people, and he's worked for like Michelle Branch and Taylor Swift and all that, so he just has a lot of experience. So they started dating. Like every time I text her, she'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, writing music or like playing guitar and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I wonder what it sounds like. And then she would put up short videos and stuff on her Instagram, and it sounded really good. When I went on this trip, she was like, okay, so yeah, so I wrote like 5 songs. We're gonna record the EP in Nashville. So then she was like, do you wanna come with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I thought it was just gonna be nothing serious, you know, like just like a fun trip. It was a really fun trip. The first day we just got there, we hung out, vegged out, had dinner, and the next day was recording day, and they had all these musicians who worked in the industry for a really long time. It was serious, you know? And there's all these terms, and it was just crazy, like so many terms that they threw around that I had no idea. And I was just sitting there, like I took a lot of photos. That's what I was there for. I was there to take photos for Caitlin and kind of record the process and everything. I don't think I did a really good job, to be quite honest, or maybe I was there for moral support. Anyway, it was amazing to think that, you know, I've known her for almost 2 years and I've never heard her music. I've never heard like fully her music and everything, and I was just blown away. So then she just sang through all the songs and everything, and you know, the recording process went by super quickly. I think it was only like a day and a half or something like that to record 5 songs. It's just incredible how like professional musicians work so quickly, because I always thought that it would take like 6 months to make an album, or like 3 to 6 months to record an album or whatever. And you hear about people going to the mountains or like going into like a totally rural area and recording and stuff like that, and disappearing for a long time to record an album and stuff. So I just always thought that it would take forever. But all the other musicians in there, they had the music stuck in their head because it's like super catchy. I don't even know how to explain it because it was just totally something unexpected. I always thought that she would be like Beach House, you know, like sound like Beach House or Mac DeMarco, or like something more like indie, folky, something like that. But it's totally not. It's almost, there's no other musicians that I can compare this to, but she's kind of like a singer-songwriter, 90s, a little bit of country too, which I really like. So I don't know, I'm really proud of her. I'm really excited to see where this goes. But in any case, they moved to Nashville, which is so crazy. She and her boyfriend decided to move, and on that trip when we were there just about a month ago, they were looking for a place. So they found a place quickly, moved. So they're there right now. So I'm gonna be going there maybe sometime in the spring to hang out and stuff, because I really want to see them again, and I really want to get like a better feel for Nashville. I fell in love with Nashville. I absolutely love it. So yeah, recording was like 2 days. We had barbecue. The barbecue was amazing. We ate some really good food. On the Friday that we were there, we had a little party, and we just had a lot of fun. Caitlin's dad is a sweetheart. He bought Devin a new electric guitar, and so Devin's best friend is he builds guitars basically. Yeah, so then they've been talking about this guitar, and like Devin really likes this one guitar, and then Caitlin's dad found out about it, so he bought it for him. It's funny because going on this trip, we booked the ticket right before I left from Vietnam, and I was in Vietnam for about like a month. So when Caitlin was like, hey, yeah, we're gonna go these days and stuff like that, we booked the trip, and then when I got back from Vietnam, I had a week at home during Thanksgiving. I remember thinking before going into the trip, thinking, I'm gonna be spending the next week with like a bunch of strangers, because I've only met Devin a couple times. I've only met Caitlin's dad like for a couple hours before that, and I've never even met Devin's best friend, Andrew. And I'm like, if I'm gonna be spending a whole week with them, it's gonna be kind of fucking awkward, you know? And like, I think I have like some sort of social anxiety, so I was mulling it over in my head for about like a week right after I left or got back from Vietnam, because I was alone for like a fucking month, you know? I don't know what it was. I just had all these like negative thoughts in my head about how I would fuck up and just be kind of like an introvert while I'm there. But then when I was there, it was so nice, like just being around a family, and I had so much fun. And like when the trip was over, I didn't even want to leave. I really want to get the whole crew together again and then hang out somewhere. Maybe we can all go to Boise. Anyway, I went through 3 rolls of film when I was there and took a lot of photos. I'm eating these Tim Tams right now, and they're amazing. My cousin got them for me for Christmas because we were gonna have a movie night. She got me a ton of snacks, but this is the dark mint one. Have you guys ever tried this where what you're supposed to do is you take one and you bite this end, and you take like hot tea or hot coffee and you just sip it through. It sounds disgusting, but you suck it through, all the way through the biscuit. It absorbs, and it's just phenomenal. So yeah, we went to a honky tonk. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, so I came home and I was feeling kind of down, like after a couple of days, like I just really missed everyone, especially Caitlin's dad for some reason. He's such a sweet man. But I just like started missing everyone. And then Ian just bought a Tacoma, which is like a Toyota, like a truck. And it has like a bench in the front with 3 seats. And he wanted to take a trip somewhere because he had like a couple of weeks off from work. So he's like, well, let's do something. Let's go somewhere. And we've never been on a trip together. Like we've been together for like over 5 years, and we've never been on like a real trip. Like we spend like a night in, I don't know, Joshua Tree or whatever, but like never more than 2 days, or no, never more than 1 day actually. So he's like, let's go somewhere. Let's go up to Portland. Let's go camping. Let's go car camping. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. We loaded up the truck the day after Christmas. It's funny because he bought that truck for $1,000, you know? I could tell that he was like, this is a pretty sketchy car. But as soon as I got into it, I fell in love with it. I love that car to death. So we took that car up to Portland, all the way up to Portland. It was a period of like 3 days. So the first day we stayed in Big Sur, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the photos, but like I could not stop taking photos of like the beach side. The coast is just so different once you get past Southern California. The beaches in Southern California are beautiful, yes, but for some reason it's so different once you get past that. Like once you get up to like Big Sur, once you get up to like Oregon, it's just so different. And then we kept going up, and we stayed in this like really sketchy, well, it's not sketchy, it was just there were no other people camping there, and we got there when it was like pitch black and dark. And I think it was in the Red Pines or something like that, or Redwoods. But as soon as we got there, I was not happy. I was not stoked. It was the second night, and I was totally fine with car camping and like sleeping in the car. No other cars there. It seemed like no one was around for like 100,000 miles or whatever. It was just pitch black, dark, and scary as fuck. So Ian like lit the fire and everything, and he was just like, you know, you'll be fine. And I remember just being like, I'm not leaving the car, I'm staying in the car. I locked the car and everything as soon as because you have to pay to park or to camp. So he went to pay, and he's like, you wanna come with me? And I'm like, no, like I'm staying here. I was scared as fuck, you know? So I just stayed there, and he like built the fire and everything. I drank like I don't know, a beer and a half or 2 beers or whatever. So then I felt a lot better. We camped there the second night, and then we drove up to Oregon. So we went to Coos Bay, which is like the most beautiful, like so gorgeous. We got there right like maybe 2 hours before sunset, so we had time to like set up and everything, and then we went out to the beach. We literally slept on the beach in the car. It was just so breathtaking. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I was trying to explain to Ian how beautiful Ha Long Bay is in Vietnam. Like when I was there, I was looking out and I just thought that was so beautiful. And he kept saying, "Was this more pretty?" Like every single like beach that we pass in like on the California coast, he was just like, "Is this like beautiful? Is this more beautiful than Ha Long Bay? Is this more beautiful?" But when we got to Oregon, like when we got to Coos Bay, oh my God, I could start like bawling. I actually took a ton of photos on my film camera, so as soon as I get that developed, I'll like have that on my blog and everything. But it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, and I don't know, maybe it was because I was about to get my period or whatever, but I was just super emotional looking around. Anyway, so we stayed there for about like 30 minutes, walked around, enjoyed, like set up and everything, enjoyed our time, set up, and then we went over to this another area near that area, like Coos Bay area, and then we saw the sunset, and it was just so gorgeous. It looked like something from like a romance novel. It was just insane. So like the sun was setting, it looked kind of dark and stormy out. The waves were splashing against the rocks. It was just such a sight to see. I don't think I've ever been that captivated by anything in my life. That was just so beautiful. We had a couple beers, so I was kind of tipsy. I left my jacket outside by accident, so like everything had ice on it in the morning, and it was not fun to pack up because it was like, I think 20 something degrees. We're California kids, so like 20 something degrees is just brutal to us. And then Ian has really bad circulation too, so he was packing up everything and his fingers were just icy. And then we went all the way to the Tillamook cheese factory, and that was a lot of fun. We ate some cheese, had some ice cream, and then went into Portland and spent some time in Portland. I love Portland. I love the little neighborhoods. I love being able to walk around. I love the variety. Anyway, so we stayed there for a couple days. We spent New Year's Eve there, and then on New Year's Day we decided to go home like early in the morning around like 6 or whatever, so we really only got like less than 6 hours of sleep. We hit a blizzard on the way down. Ian was like, "No, we'll just go all the way down like all in one day," which is I think 18 hours of driving in that poor little Tacoma, you know? Yeah, so we left at 6 in the morning, got home at midnight, went through a blizzard, went through a ton of snow and rain. We had to put chains on the car. Actually, we didn't, Ian did. That sucked, and I don't know, it was just a brutal ride going all the way home. And Ian had to drive the entire way too, because I don't know how to, actually I do know how to drive a stick shift. Ian had to teach me how to drive a stick shift once in like 15 minutes. So I do know how to drive a stick shift, I just didn't. Maybe he didn't trust me. To be quite honest, I've never spent that much time, like over a week straight, just being hip to hip with Ian, you know? And again, with like my anxiety and everything, I thought that he would hate me, or like I would hate him, and just we would fight all the time, or like it would just be bad because we've never spent that much time together, you know? We live pretty far away from each other. So I thought that after this trip we would just be sick of each other. But we weren't. We got like separation anxiety like the very next day. So I don't know, it was a lot of fun. The reason why I made this video is because I wanted to get rid of this footage, all this footage that I had on my computer for so long. And I know this is totally ADD and everything, but I know it's more for me than it really is for anyone else. I really just wanted to record this or document this in some way and kind of remember it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this in any case. I hope this wasn't too boring for you or anything like that. I'll see you guys later. Bye.